The DC Universe is getting another fresh start under James Gunn and Peter Safran's leadership. After nearly a decade of mixed results, controversial decisions, and an overall lack of coherent vision, many fans hoped this would finally be DC's moment to shine. But as we dive deeper into Gunn's plans and early developments, some concerning patterns are emerging that might spell trouble for this ambitious reboot. Today, we're taking a hard look at why the DCU's new direction might face more challenges than expected. The first major issue facing Gunn's DCU is the shaky foundation it's being built on. Unlike Marvel's carefully planned Phase 1, DC is attempting to launch multiple projects across different mediums simultaneously. We've got animated series like Creature Commandos, live-action shows like Waller, and films like Superman Legacy, all in different stages of development. While this might seem ambitious, it's also incredibly risky. Building a cohesive universe requires careful world building and character establishment, something that becomes exponentially more difficult when you're juggling multiple formats and tones from the start. This scattered approach also raises questions about accessibility. Will casual viewers need to watch animated shows to understand the live-action films? How will the varying tones between projects affect the overall universe's consistency? Marvel succeeded by starting simple and expanding gradually. Gunn's DCU seems to be trying to run before it can walk. Perhaps the most visible challenge facing the new DCU is its casting decisions and their reception. The announcement of David Corenswet as Superman and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane has received mixed reactions, not necessarily because of their talent, but because they represent yet another reboot of iconic characters. The audience fatigue is real. We've seen multiple Supermen, Batmen, and Jokers in recent years, and asking audiences to emotionally invest in new versions yet again is a significant hurdle. This problem extends beyond just Superman. The decision to recast nearly every major character while potentially keeping some actors from previous iterations, like Zola Maridueña's Blue Beetle, creates a confusing continuity that might alienate both new and existing fans. It's a delicate balance between fresh starts and maintaining what worked, and early indicators suggest finding that balance might be more challenging than anticipated. James Gunn's success with Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad is undeniable, but there's a crucial difference between directing individual films and overseeing an entire universe. His strong creative vision and distinctive style worked wonderfully for self-contained stories, but could become problematic when applied to an entire cinematic universe. The concern isn't about Gunn's talent, it's about whether his particular creative voice can effectively serve as the foundation for a diverse range of characters and stories. This becomes particularly evident when we look at the announced projects. Many seem to lean into the quirky, offbeat tone Gunn is known for. While this worked brilliantly for Guardians and Suicide Squad, applying this sensibility to characters like Superman or Batman risks misunderstanding what makes these characters resonate with audiences. There's a danger of everything feeling too Gunnified rather than letting each property maintain its unique identity. The timing of this DCU reboot couldn't be more challenging. We're in an era of growing superhero fatigue where even Marvel is seeing diminishing returns on some projects. The streaming landscape is more competitive than ever, and audience expectations for quality content are at an all-time high. This means the new DCU doesn't just need to be good, it needs to be exceptional to stand out. The financial aspect can't be ignored either. Warner Bros. Discovery is still dealing with the aftermath of the merger and various cost-cutting measures. While they've committed significant resources to the DCU, there's always the risk that financial pressures could impact creative decisions or force compromises in production quality. The need to prove immediate success might lead to rushed decisions that harm long-term sustainability. One of the biggest hurdles facing the new DCU is rebuilding trust with the audience. After years of inconsistent quality, abandoned storylines, and multiple reboots, many fans are understandably skeptical. Gunn's active presence on social media and transparency about plans is admirable, but it also creates a double-edged sword. Every announcement is intensely scrutinized, and early criticism can snowball into negative narrative before projects even release. The decision to end the Snyderverse, while probably necessary for a fresh start, has alienated a vocal portion of the fan base. While you can't please everyone, starting a new universe with an already divided fan base presents significant challenges for building the kind of unified support that helped launch the MCU. While Gunn has stated he's not trying to copy Marvel, comparisons are inevitable. The MCU's success sets a high bar for audience expectations of what a cohesive cinematic universe should look like. The DCU needs to be different enough to stand out while still delivering the kind of interconnected storytelling audiences have come to expect. This is made more difficult by Marvel's head start in establishing many of the tropes and conventions of superhero storytelling in the modern era. Moreover, the superhero landscape is more crowded than ever. Between Marvel, Sony's Spider-Verse, and various independent superhero films, standing out requires more than just good execution. It needs to bring something genuinely new to the table. Early announcements suggest an emphasis on lesser-known characters, which is risky when you're trying to rebuild a franchise. The ambitious scope of announced projects creates another potential problem: the timeline of delivery. With multiple projects in different stages of development, maintaining quality control and ensuring narrative coherence becomes increasingly difficult. Delays in one project could have ripple effects across the entire universe, particularly if stories are meant to be interconnected. There's also the question of how long audiences will wait to see this new universe take shape. With Superman Legacy not arriving until 2025 and many other projects still in early development, maintaining excitement and momentum over such a long period could prove challenging. Despite these challenges, there are reasons for optimism. Gunn's track record with both Marvel and DC shows he understands how to handle comic book properties with respect while making them accessible to modern audiences. The emphasis on character-driven storytelling and announcements suggests a focus on substance over spectacle. The decision to plan out multiple chapters in advance indicates long-term thinking rather than reactive decision-making. The diversity of formats and tones in announced projects could also prove to be a strength rather than a weakness, allowing the DCU to tell different types of stories that appeal to different audiences. The willingness to take risks with lesser-known properties shows confidence and could lead to fresh, exciting content that helps the DCU establish its own identity. Is James Gunn's DCU in trouble? It's facing significant challenges, some inherited from previous attempts at building a DC film universe, others created by current market conditions and creative decisions. However, trouble might be too strong a word. What we're seeing could be the natural growing pains of an ambitious attempt to rebuild one of entertainment's most valuable properties. The success or failure of this new DCU will likely depend on how well Gunn and his team navigate these early challenges. Can they maintain quality control across multiple formats? Will their creative vision resonate with both new and existing fans? Can they build trust and excitement during the long wait for major releases? The answers to these questions will determine whether we're watching the birth of a new entertainment powerhouse or another false start for DC. What do you think about the future of the DCU? Are you optimistic about Gunn's vision, or do you see trouble ahead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more comic book movie analysis.